Thank you, Ali. And what I needed to say, Brian has already said so I just need to say a word of thanks to Brian, I guess. But you're not going to get away with it, by the way. I'm so sorry. I'm really happy that all you people could make it. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you for celebrating the CPBC 31st anniversary with us. While we have come a long way from our humble beginnings, we nonetheless have our bearings set on a much more prosperous future. In fact, over the past 18 months, we have made a concerted effort to build upon one of our achievements, the Agreement of Cooperation between Ontario and Punjab. Folks, the goal is simple. Take trade between Canada and Pakistan to the next level. At this time, I would like to congratulate Premier Kathleen Wynne on a resounding victory here in Ontario. As part of this cooperation of agreement, we feel confident that we will be able to move positively in engaging the Premier of Ontario and the Chief Minister of Punjab, Mian Shahbaz Sharif, in a dialogue. We were fully supported by the High Commission in Islamabad, and we have been assured of the complete support in making this happen. I'm going to repeat a few stats which Brian mentioned. Bilateral trade currently sits at just about $650 million, far below its potential, which is why CPBC initiated the Focus on Pakistan seminar last year in partnership with the DFATD, the Foreign Affairs, and the Ontario Chamber of Commerce through the Ministry of Economic Development, Trade and Employment. This very successful seminar has been the springboard for so much of the progress that we have made in the last 18 months and the impetus behind so many of our other workshops and events. Thankfully, the federal government has been with us the entire way. The Honorable Ed Fast, Minister of International Trade, has recently expressed his belief that Canadian companies can engage effectively with Pakistan on its road to economic stability. In fact, he has noted to us that Canadian Trade Commissioner Service already actively promotes the interests of Canadian exporters and investors in Pakistan. And as we have hosted information and networking sessions over the past years, several departments, the government departments, have been key supporters, including, of course, the Department of Foreign Affairs, as well as the Ministry of Agriculture, the Agri-Food. Key individuals who have worked with us or pledged their support are, from the Foreign Affairs, Michael Daniger, then, of course, our Canadian High Commissioner, Greg Yukas in Islamabad, the Senior Trade Commissioner, Dennis Conard, and, of course, I need to mention Khurshid Sahara, who's played a very proactive role in promoting agriculture. Of course, in a strong show of support, MP Brad Butt, amongst others, visited Pakistan recently. Thank you. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention the role Senator Salma Ataullah Jan has played in engaging the community and the federal government. So thank you, Salma. Of course, the Ontario government has also recognized the great trade opportunities that exist between our two nations, and it has responded very favorably to expanding commercial links with Pakistan. With this in mind, our team started working closely with the Ontario Ministry of Economic Development, Trade and Employment, as well as the Ministry of Research and Innovation, to explore avenues to leverage the strength of Ontario and Punjab. In fact, the Ontario government has been a key partner in several ventures, including a recent trade delegation under the auspices of Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, headed by Mr. S.M. Munir. Mr. Akil Tyagi from the International Trade Branch has been particularly generous with his time and support. Thank you, Akil. Being both an agricultural nation, Ontario's Ministry of Agriculture and Food has been another productive partner of the CPBC. one of our major seminars in which OMAF was a participant, which was entitled Doing Business with Pakistan. So, gentlemen, ladies, Doing Business with Pakistan was organized by another of our key partners, the Consulate General of Pakistan in Toronto. The goal of this event was to provide prominent Canadian companies a stage to share their actual experiences of investing in Pakistan so that investors can gain a true picture of the business landscape there. In terms of sector with the greatest potential, our focus continues to be connecting businesses in agriculture, education, energy, and ICT. Part of that strategy involves strengthening our alliances. To that end, we met with the director, Kamal Chinoy International Chamber of Commerce, to consolidate our ongoing agreement. As we celebrate our 10 years partnership with the Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, also known as the FPCCI, we have already jointly resolved building upon our MOU. Meanwhile, the CPBC has offered to support the FPCCI and the consulate for their third Pakistan Expo in September, Toronto this year. All this will be coordinated with our dear friend and supporter, Mr. S.M. Munir, who has recently taken over as the CEO of the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, and I believe with the rank of a Federal Minister of State. He's also the former president of FPCCI and is currently assigned as the president of the Pakistan-Canada Business Council of the FPCCI. New collaborations have been formed. The CPBC has laid groundwork with the Canada-Sri Lanka Business Council and then separately with the Turkish-Canadian Chamber of Commerce to undertake initiative under a shared platform. The CPBC took our plans direct to Pakistan when, at the recommendation of the Pakistan Consulate in Toronto, we attended the National Vision 2025. The conference was held by the government of Pakistan, hosted by the Ministry of Planning and Development. The event was aimed to develop by consensus a roadmap for sustainability and economic growth. Representing the CPBC, I engaged with Pakistani leaders and provided input from an international perspective. During this trip, Punjab Chief Minister Mia Shahbaz Sharif also generously hosted us. He showed his keen interest to visit Canada in the near future. All this effort has yielded results. Several Canadian agricultural companies are looking at opportunities in Pakistan. In terms of direct trade, another company is in the process of inking a deal to export 100,000 tons of canola to Pakistan. On the energy side, I am aware of 3 different Canadian firms who are initiating renewable energy projects in Pakistan. Other successes include a Pakistani chemical company landing a multi-million-dollar deal to export product to Canada, and a $5 million deal between Toronto has already been in place and signed. All this has happened in the recent times. In all these successes and achievement, there is one name that comes foremost to my mind, and that is Mr. Nafis Zakaria. Mr. Zakaria has been very effective in promoting the trade potential that exists between Canada and Pakistan. He was assigned his position as the Consul General here, Toronto, around the same time that I took on CPBC's presidency, and it has truly been a pleasure to work with him and his dedication firsthand. With his new promotion now takes him back to Islamabad, he's expected to be involved with the North American desks with a special emphasis to Canada. And so we look forward to his continued insight and energy. In the meantime, we are looking forward to working more closely with the Consul General Designate, Mr. Asghar Ali Golo, who has consistently impressed us with the knowledge and clarity of his vision. Thank you, Asghar. Of course, none of our progress could have been achieved without the active support and work of our board of directors and advisors. I also want to thank our members and supporters, without whom we would not have been able to achieve this much. I would like to acknowledge the continued support of our corporate sponsor, RBC, represented by Mr. Imtiaz Saeed. He is the Vice President of South Asian Market and Middle East Markets. RBC and Imtiaz have been dedicated partners for many years now. With the guidance of the board and our members and a growing array of supporters, the CPBC is sure to have many more achievements to report a year from now. The addition of our new board members, Mr. Alam Khwaja as treasurer, Mr. Zakir Abdi as a director, and Ms. Ruhi Ahmad as advisor, give me greater confidence in the trails we will be blazing on the way to a $1 million bilateral trade soon. And as I usually do, I will try and close. But before I close, I have to let this young man know that I will request him to put on a 2-minute video, which I'm sure you will appreciate. And with that, I would like to close with my regular remarks that, folks, together we can make a difference. Thank you very much.